I had a very good friend, and they were trying to put on a baby shower for me. And every time she would show up at the house, there's something else in the house. So finally she just said, you better not buy anything else. You better not buy another thing until we can do a baby shower for you, because I'm trying to keep it secret, but this is not working. My name is Zena Bryant. I am 49 years old, and I have 3 boys. And when I say I have 3 boys, I have 2 biological sons and then 1 son from my marriage, from my second marriage. I've been married twice. I'm a police officer. I've been a police officer for 20 years. I'm 25 years old, and I have to go through an infertility clinic in order to become pregnant. I have been married since I was 21 years old, so I've been married for 4 years. And after about 3 years, we kind of figured out something wasn't right because I wasn't conceiving, and we weren't doing anything not to conceive. So I went to an infertility clinic, and I found out that I had some complications, that I had to have some assistance through infertility with Clomid, and I also had my hormone levels were really out of balance. And so I had to take shots every month in order to make sure that the hormone levels stayed consistent so that I could conceive. So at the time, once I realized that I couldn't conceive, I was upset, I was devastated. I was a police officer. We had been married. We were in a position where we were financially able to raise a child, because we wanted all those things in place before we actually started a family. My husband was retired military. He was 14 years older than I. And he had a son. My stepson was 9 years younger than I was. But at the same time, I still wanted that feeling. I wanted to be able to conceive and carry. I wanted to know what it felt like. And it caused a lot of problems in our marriage because I was very upset. You know, his thing is, well, it's not necessary because we have Gene. And not that I didn't love my stepson, I loved him, you know, dearly. But I wanted to be able to go through what I saw other women going through, and I wanted to know that feeling, and I wanted to have my own child. So it was very important to me. I want to say I think I hit the lottery. I'm guessing that's what it would feel like to hit the lottery, because I was so excited, and it was something that I really wanted, and oh man, I was just happier than a pig in mud, as my mom would say. And I mean, it was just joy, knowing. And then it became, at a certain point, then I'm nervous. Am I going to conceive? I mean, am I going to carry it full term? Am I going to be okay, you know? And at that point, because I wanted it so much, then I probably became very anxious. And, you know, some anxiety came in, because now I'm worried that this is too good to be true and something bad is going to happen. I suffer from a little bit of anxiety, so that's the way that I'm wired. You know, everybody's wired a little differently, and that's the way that I'm wired. And so during that time, I was like, ooh, you know, but it was so funny because I was going out buying everything that I thought that a child would want or need, because I grew up and we didn't have a lot at all. So, and that's probably why I was wanting all those things to be in place before I actually had a child, because I didn't want that child to grow up with the same struggles that I had grown up with, you know. My mom, we went to school, we didn't have very nice things, you know. My mom was always robbing Peter to pay Paul. I mean, and I actually grew up with my mom and my dad. But we grew up in Columbus, Ohio. My dad was a construction worker. He was a bricklayer. And during the winter time, we lived off his unemployment or assistance or whatever, you know, came about. But we fell in that middle group. He didn't make enough money to support us, but he didn't make not enough money that they would give us, you know, full assistance to be raised on. So it was a struggle for us growing up, and I didn't want my child to go through that. So then you overcompensate. And the funniest thing is, I had a very good friend, and they were trying to put on a baby shower for me. And every time she would show up at the house, there's something else in the house. So finally she just said, you better not buy anything else. You better not buy another thing until we can do a baby shower for you, because I'm trying to keep it secret, but this is not working. So, oh man, I had completed the baby room. We wallpapered, we painted, we had it decked out, and there wasn't room on the floor to get to the crib. because it was so much stuff that I had purchased for my son. So I was very excited. I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait until he was born, or he or she was born. And so everybody was mad at me about that because it was a little hard to buy because you had to buy little neutral, things for the baby. And I waited until it was time for delivery. And once I delivered, it was a boy. The one thing I wish I would have known was the lack of sleep that was coming. Because I'm going to tell you, probably the first week, I probably cried every night. So Dominic, his name was Dominic Keelan, and Dominic did not sleep, but every 2 hours, and then he's up. Every 2 hours, and he's up. And his sleep cycle was awful. And then I, being a new mom, in the in-between times, I'm trying to clean and cook and not sleep when he's sleeping. And so that first week, I'm a wreck. And I mean, I'm a basket case. And the friend, she was an older lady, Miss A, she had come over, and then she says, look, my mom was in Ohio, and I'm in Colorado because my husband was military, and we were stationed there. Retired military, and that's where we retired. And so she was coming over, and then she kind of became my surrogate mom. She was explaining, when the baby sleeps, you sleep. Those other things, they can wait. So the overwhelming thing was just how your time now belongs and dedicated to your child, and then the other things as far as being a wife, you get really tired. There's not enough hours in the day to complete everything. So I think the first week, don't get me wrong, I still love my son, and I'm just, when I see him, I light up, but I'm exhausted. And so one of the things with me, I could have adopted and loved a child. I could have. But I think the thing that, it wasn't necessarily that I didn't think I could love an adopted child. I just wanted to go through the process of being pregnant to see what it is that everyone else goes through, I guess I did feel like I was going to be inadequate, if I couldn't. I don't have to see a child that looks like me and my spouse. That part wasn't the issue. I think I just wanted, I guess maybe feeling as like I'm less of a woman because I couldn't conceive. But there would be no difference between, I don't think, with me, that I love a child any differently, whether it's adopted or if I gave birth naturally. And a great example is, so we have a blended family. I've divorced and remarried, and my oldest son is not my biological child. But there's no difference between my boys at all. I love them all the same and would do anything for any of them. I think it's just more of a thing that you want to conceive. For me, it was just, I wanted to feel like I was, I don't know, I wanted to be pregnant. I wanted to know what it was to have something growing in me, and that feeling, and maybe I felt like that makes you a woman. I don't know. But it was just something that was very, very important to me, and I wanted to be able to do it. Well, you know what, my thing is I believe that you should exhaust every resource that you have available to you, because a lot of people get frustrated, they give up, and at some point, especially when you're in a relationship with someone who's not real supportive, because my first husband wasn't real supportive of it. I moved forward without him, and I didn't give up because, I'm very strong-willed as far as this is something that I want, so this is something that I'm going to accomplish. And a lot of it is sometimes that you have to take on more of a self-directed and, kind of embrace and empower yourself to go forward with whatever it is that you want. Don't let anyone discourage you. Don't give up. And, if it's meant to be, God will make it come true for you. And it took a little while for me. He comes to you when he's ready, It's not when you're ready. When you're ready is when he's ready. And that's what came about. And I was 25 years old. And I waited, and it was the perfect time, because that's the time of my life when I was able to be a good mother. I'm not going to say I wouldn't have been, but at 21 years old or being a young mom, my mom was a 15-year-old mother with me, and I don't think I was wanting that. So I would, my suggestion is that you just don't give up, be self-directed, empower yourself, and make it happen. I guess the word would be patience. And I would say patience because you're going to need a lot of it. Because it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time and it's a very overwhelming feeling initially. I mean, the best blessing God could ever give you, but at the same time, there's going to be times that there's struggles, and you just have to be patient and wait and make your way through those times. My name is Zena Bryant, and my word is patience.